Hello, welcome to the channel. My name is Ian. If you've not been here before, the channel's all about music and art, and this is day one of the Aesthetica Short Film Festival. So this is actually video 3 of the day. This is the third thing I went to see. So this is Wednesday the 5th of November. Occasionally you might hear some fireworks outside. So the other two things that I've been to see, which was another masterclass and a group of short films, are linked down below. This was another masterclass, and it was on at 4:30 this afternoon. So this was BBC Film Developing New Voices. So this was a producer, a director, and a lady from BBC Film, who obviously are commissioning short films. And um, it was a 1 hour talk at the York Theatre Royal. It was very, very well attended. Um, and it was really interesting from my point of view. As I wasn't aware that the BBC are helping, independent and new filmmakers by being able to fund some of the money from obviously license fees, and the idea behind it is that they make short films, and then they hopefully will make feature films, hopefully with the BBC. That was the outcome of it. So it was a really interesting talk. The three people, the lady from the BBC was Anya, who was very knowledgeable, obviously, about how the whole process worked from the commissioning point of view. The producer was Jessica, and she gave insight. She runs her own production company now, but she gave us her background. Now she'd, where she studied. She didn't study film. She studied English literature, worked in theatre, and then moved on to actually being able to work on production. And the director was a fantastic guy, incredibly funny chap called Edem, and his one of his films is actually at Aesthetica this year, and I'm going to go and see it. So I'm going to find out when it's on. I think it's on Thursday or Friday, and so I will be covering Edem's film in that. It was really fascinating to I'm not a filmmaker in that sense. I do films to YouTube, but I wouldn't call myself a filmmaker. I'm a musician. So, but it was really interesting looking at the insight in, and the problems that small filmmakers have. I mean, Jessica said at one point that I think she's made 7 short films and not made any money out of them. In fact, if anything, I think she said they cost her money. So these people, they're doing it. They want to make a living out of it, and they have a right to make a living out of it because they're clearly very good at their art. These people, but it's so difficult for them to actually get films commissioned, in this day and age, and also get their art out there. Really, they did show us a couple of clips from the two films. One of the films from Jessica was from last year. I did make a note of it, and I'll put it in the comments down below, in the description down below, what these two films are called. So I'm hoping to try and see both of them, although I know that only one of them is Aesthetica this year. So, but it was a really brilliant talk, very entertaining. There was lots of laughs in it, which was quite nice. Not only from Edam, but from the other two as well. I did have to leave. It was 45 minutes of them talking, and then there was going to be 15 minutes of Q&A from the audience. I had to leave at that point because I had to get to my next thing, which was a feature film, and I had to get across from the York Theatre Royal to the Museum Gardens. So I couldn't stay for the Q&A bit from the audience. But it was it's a pity that I'm hoping it might have been recorded, although I can't be sure about that. If it is recorded, I will put the link down below so that you can hopefully see this. But certainly, if you are here or you are coming to Aesthetica Film Festival, the masterclasses are absolutely fantastic, and these are not extra. You have to book them, but they are just part of your pass, really. So if you get a day pass, you'll be able to go and see the masterclasses that day, or if you get a full pass, then you can go and see any of the stuff. It is worth noting that the earlier masterclass that I went to, there was a chap there who didn't realise that he didn't have to book, and he'd literally just turned up with his pass and showed his pass. So, look, you're going to let me in, and they did let him in, but they let everybody else in first. So it is better, even if it's like 10 minutes before the thing's due to start, book a ticket. You'll get an email response. They just want to have a look at the email. It will have a number on it, so if you don't want to be disappointed if a masterclass is full, then clearly you wouldn't be able to get in. And it was absolutely superb. Okay, so one more thing in the next video, and that was a feature film, a feature documentary. I had no idea what I was going to go and see. So more about that in the next video. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Cheers now. Bye bye.